Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my second episode of my Christian Girl Chat podcast. Okay, so today we're going to touch on a couple topics. I have wrote down a couple topics that I kind of want to just address and touch on, so we're just going to jump right into the video. So the first one on my list is, have you considered therapy? Yes. In my opinion, therapy is a great tool aside of keeping my faith, and I also have a Black woman as a therapist so she can relate to me and understand me, and she also is a Christian and she's a woman of God, so that helps me if I'm either having like worries or doubts. She's just like there to basically like not confirm, but just like kind of in a way confirm, like, hey, why do you have worries? Why do you have doubts? Like, you have your faith, you have your religion, cling on to that and you will have no problems. And literally, it was something that she had told me the other day about like the election, and it really clicked for me. And it's like, Jada, why are you worrying? Why do you have so much doubt? Like, it's in God's hands now. Whatever his plan is for you, that's what the plan will be. So yes, I do think therapy can be beneficial, but make sure you have the right therapist that fits you. So that's what I will say to that. Another thing was, how do you feel about dressing modesty? How do you feel about dressing modest? At first I was a crop top girly, I will say that. But now as I'm like getting older and getting more mature and just getting more into my word, I think naturally I find myself dressing more modest on my own. And dressing modest doesn't necessarily mean like you have to just be covered up, you can't show no skin at all. It's just dressing comfortable and dressing respectively, in my opinion. So I just changed the way I wore a couple of my outfits. Like, instead of my crop top stopping like right here, it's stopping like at the bottom of my stomach, right where my pants come up. Like, that's something about changing your style to dress modest. Like, instead of wearing like really short shorts, have them go like halfway to your thighs or to your knees. That's dressing modest. Like, and I just find myself to be more comfortable, and it's like a comfortable change and a comfortable switch. Like, it's not like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, but it's like, once you're following your walk with Christ, things are just going to become natural, and you look at the world differently, you look at yourself differently. It's just an overall thing that's just going to come together. So yeah, that's my take on dressing modest. I do not fault people that don't dress more modest. Like I said, it's everyone's personal preference, and if that's not their preference, that's not their preference. I would never judge. Also, who am I to judge when I have a lot of fault and guilt and all that myself? So I would never judge somebody for the way that they dress. Yep. The next one is secular music. How do you feel about secular music? Okay, so my take on secular music is, I think as a Christian I have a mixture of both. Some people in the church and stuff will be like, oh, secular music is really bad. You're listening to stuff and it's pouring into you for your flesh and all this stuff. But I personally don't let certain music change me. And also, certain type of music I'm not listening to, like the rappers that are just degrading women and stuff like that. I'm not listening to that type of music. Like, that stuff, for one, to me is degrading. Like, when I listen to the song and I'm like, this is degrading women. Like, why do women like this? Why are women singing this? I don't listen to that type of music. The type of music that is secular that I listen to is like the R&B type of music, the love notes and love songs and how to get your girl back, stuff like that. That's the type of secular music that I listen to. But what I will say is that I'm starting to listen to gospel music more, just to uplift my spirit and just to worship, to make sure that I have that time to worship through whatever I'm doing, whether it's cleaning my house. I got my Christian got my Christian gospel music on or something. Or if I'm in the car driving somewhere and it's in the morning and it's like, Lord, help me through the day, I'm gonna turn on my little gospel music and start my day and everything's gonna be okay. But there's also, what I've learned is that, and it's like, it just came up randomly on my YouTube one day. It was like Christian R&B. I'm like, let me listen to this. And when I was listening to it, the music was very soothing, and the music was what I was looking for and what I usually listen to when I listen to the secular music. So the songs that I liked, I just grabbed them, added them to my Apple Music, and I created a whole nother like Christian gospel playlist, and I love it. Like, I love it. And it's like, instead of preaching to other like people about with a message, it's talking about God, but in R&B, in a way that you can relate, in a way that makes you feel good. And that's my thing. Music that makes me feel good, after I get done listening to it, I'm going to add it to my playlist. But I have made a switch over to Christian R&B. Not to say I don't listen to the regular R&B from time to time. I'm only human. But I have a balance, I feel like, and I don't let secular music take over my life, for one. And I don't listen to the really, really horrid, bad secular music. So we're going to get that one clear. And then another question I have is, how do you deal with non-believers? It really, I think for me personally, it depends on the situation that I'm in. Of course, you know, as a Christian, as a woman of God, you're always supposed to lead people towards God, and towards the Lord, towards Jesus. And for non-believers, it could be tricky sometimes, because I guess they don't understand the walk of the journey that you're on. But hopefully your testimony can guide people towards that. And if there's people that are just unwilling to learn, those people are just going to be ignorant towards something that's great. And that's really all I can say to that. You can try your best to lead, but it's up to them if they want to follow after that. So nice and short on that one. And that is all I have for today. The next questions that I have, I'm going to stay tuned for the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Christian girl talk that I have. I know my videos are short, but you know, I talk fast. I don't know.
Can I tell you something for what it is worth?